My wellness journey started with a really toxic job. And even though it was probably one of the worst times in my life, I'm really grateful for it. Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm 30 years old. I started this channel to just start sharing more about myself and build community with others that have gone through similar things or are going through similar things. I've actually reconnected with someone from my past just with these videos already as I just gotten started, and it's really exciting. Today I'm going to share how I started my wellness journey and just a little bit more about me. Okay, so like I said, my wellness journey started with a toxic job. It was a super stressful job. There was a lot of pressure to be absolutely perfect, and it hit me hard as someone who already worked really hard and was always trying to do my best. It just felt like I couldn't get there. I knew I hit rock bottom when I was drinking at home almost every night. I was more of a social drinker up to that point, so drinking at home and always having it stocked up at home was kind of new to me, and I knew it was getting out of hand and there was something I needed to do. The first step I took was looking for a new job. I think changing my situation was super important at that time. After a few weeks of actively searching for a new job, I felt like I found something perfect. With that new job, I had a lot more time on my hands, so I was able to tap into more self-care activities, getting back into working out and eating healthier all along the way. I started listening to a podcast called Healthier Together at the time. It's called the Lose Moody podcast now, but there were tons of cool guests that shared their expertise in wellness, and from doctors and specialists, and it was really helpful to me to make small changes and honestly start tackling the reasons, the root cause behind the issues that I was having. I actually went on a trip that year with some friends who kind of called it out and said, hey, you are eating so well. You're eating less than we do. You're so active. Maybe you should get your thyroid checked. It came from a really good place, and that's kind of what started my PCOS diagnosis, which I get more into detail in my last video, or excuse me, my first video that I filmed, which I'll link up here in the corner. So from there, I just started making small changes. I actually read Atomic Habits, which honestly is a life-changing book. Just taking small things, small habits, and curating a life that really serves you. At this point in my journey, I was doing things like daily yoga, long walks, meditation, journaling, all of these really healthy things, and I felt really good. And I think at that time I was also on an anti-inflammatory diet, so everything just seemed like it was running really, really smoothly. And until it wasn't, is what I'll say. I got really good at my routines and building structure into my days, even from like the smallest things to making my bed and tidying up every day really helped my mental load. And working from home played a big factor into that, like taking breaks from my computer to go fold a load of laundry, or if it was a meeting that I wasn't speaking in, I could fold that laundry while I was doing it. So it really helped that balance piece for me, at least. I thought I was doing really well, but I started having these dizzy spells. It kicked off with a case of food poisoning, so I got really sick, wasn't eating a lot, and I thought that was why. But once I got past that, the dizzy spells stayed with me, and I really wasn't sure what was going on, and honestly, it felt mental, and I decided to start therapy at that point. And I think what it was, because therapy, along with some other things, really helped me to move past the dizzy spells. And there were other physical symptoms that I now realize, looking back at it, were definitely stress related. I had carpal tunnel to the point that I was wearing a brace. It was so painful. And there were just a lot of other aches and pains that I was dealing with, as well as like horrible anxiety before bed. like right before bed. And no matter how much I continued my meditation, my journaling, my walks, my yoga, and other workouts, it still felt like something wasn't quite right. You're probably asking yourself, like, okay, you started your wellness journey, you did all these things that supposedly made you well, where are you getting at? And I actually found out through therapy that I was OCD, which was super critical in my healing journey, let's say, my wellness journey. I was able to pinpoint essentially these thought circles that I was having. So it's cyclical, where you have a thought and you ruminate on the thought until forever. It just keeps going in this cycle. It was endless. And so identifying that, learning more about OCD, and being able to push past that was a huge part of my self-care journey. Just identifying what was going on, acknowledging that my brain worked a certain way, and not fighting against it, but working with it. So that was really critical. And then I actually was put on medication as well. It was something that I was hesitant about. However, it was pretty life-changing, and it came at the perfect moment for me, honestly. It was kismet. I had just decided that I was going to move with my husband back from California to Texas to be closer to family. We had some stuff going on, and I needed to be here to support them. So we moved closer to family, and now we live on a pretty big property out in Texas. And yeah, I'm just really excited to share more about my experience here, my wellness, and yeah, currently my wellness journey is fairly minimal. I do have a fairly low-key morning routine. One of the things that I've learned, like, in this journey is balance is key. So you can't push yourself to do all the wellness things, because then you'll just get too far into it and you'll stress yourself out from that instead of your daily life to life things that are also still going on. But from, like, even the podcast that I mentioned at the beginning, I had to stop listening to it for a while. I listen to it every now and then again, but I had to stop listening to it for a while because I was just adding more and more to my plate that was just unnecessary. And even the host of that show, she always talks about how you need to pick and choose what works best for you. You know yourself best. And I really leaned into that kind of mentality lately. So if I get through all of my skincare, awesome. Love that for me. If I don't get to it, it's also okay. So setting up these kind of boundaries where I don't have this 12-step morning routine that's perfect. I wake up each day and I'm like, okay, what does my morning look like today? There are some key things that I like to get done so that I feel on track for my day, but honestly, I'm a work in progress. My routines haven't been as great lately, so maybe that's something I'll talk about more and post a video about as I reset with this new chapter in my life. I truly do feel like I'm in this new place right now. My husband and I, like I said, are living on this big property that I inherited, and it's a lot to maintain. And we have some other projects going on, like we're hoping to launch an Airstream Airbnb, so I'll probably share some of that. But yeah, that's my wellness journey in a nutshell. Started with a stressful job that I'm super grateful for now, and landed me to this place where I feel balanced and I try to be as intentional as possible. And yeah, we'll see where this journey takes me. I'm really excited to share it, this channel. It means a lot to me because it's something I've talked about doing for a few years now, and just with everything going on in life, I haven't been able to get around to it. But yeah, if you have any questions about me or my journey so far, I'm going to continue to make videos about it, as well as my weight loss journey with Zepbound, and throw in some vlogs because I just love vlogs, and I'm going to learn to love vlogging, I think, just documenting my life. If you take anything from this, it's you have to put yourself first. You can't put your job first. You can't put others first. You have to put yourself first, or you're never going to be a good worker, a good friend, a good wife, daughter, sister. You're not going to be those things unless you put yourself first. You got to take care of you so you fill your cup so that you can pour into others. And it's kind of like that when you're on a plane with a child and they tell you to put the mask on a child first. It's the same, or not on the child, on you first before helping a child put theirs on. It's because you've got to give yourself oxygen to be able to help them. It's the same thing in life that I've found, at least, where this journey came and like at a pivotal time where going into a stressful part of life, I was scared that I would get caught in that darkness again, feeling ill to the point where I was hurting physically. I was really nervous that that was going to happen again. But because I set so many of these habits and routines that were impactful to helping me keep that balance, I was able to survive it, and I'm really proud of myself. I've heard one of my favorite YouTubers said that about herself in a video I watched this morning, Jules Acree. Love her. I'll link her channel below because she's one of my favorites to follow, but I'm really proud of myself. I took care of myself and I was able to take care of the others around me. And I couldn't have done it with all of the tools and resources that I lean on. And yeah, I'm just really happy with that. And I'm excited that I have the energy and I have the time and honestly the mental load to take on this channel. That's it. Thank you for being here. If you made it this far, please like, subscribe, comment. I would love to hear from you and build that community like I mentioned at the beginning. I've already made some good connections so far and I'm really excited to see where this goes. So thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.